Hello, everyone, and welcome back to After Dark, the Near Dark Society show. Why are you laughing?
It's still too
Why are you
goddamn happy.
laughing? What are you doing?
He just
All right.
laughs. He's
Three.
just gonna make you laugh.
3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
All right. 3. Well, I'm counting backwards. 3.
Three.
Hello. Okay, wait. All right.
What the fuck is happening?
I don't even know.
Alright,
Number 3.
alright, alright.
Welcome to After Dark.
Alright.
This is a death attack.
All right.
Hello.
Do not do that again, dude.
He's gonna try so hard not to do.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to After Dark, Session 3. This is the Near Dark Society talk show where we talk about our past games, current projects, upcoming projects, usually a bunch of random bullshit as well.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever pops up. And we answer you guys' questions. So,
And we had pretty 2 solid games this week. We had both the death attack episode that happened where we played for, I think, 2.5, almost 3 hours, and only 2 rolls were even done. And then we also had our Hellgate episode 1 playtest as well, which I think was went a lot better than I was expecting. So we definitely got some good stuff to talk about.
yeah, so let's start with Death Attack. Get that off the table
Mhm.
so we can talk about Hellgate. Last episode, anybody remember the episode number?
It was
Number?
episode
48.
48.
48.
Yeah.
What was the title?
It was a Scoundrels at Trial.
Oh, yeah, we went to court. That was fun.
Sort of, kinda.
Sort of,
Technically, Kaz mostly went to court.
kind of Kaz went to court, but
Yeah.
I mean, it was mostly like the group. Kaz went to court, pretty much brought all of you guys in with it, and it all entailed the destruction of the mana reservoir that happened at Silver Salt.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, the big boom we made in the ocean.
the
Yeah.
big boom, yeah.
Yeah.
And that is still one of those things where I'm going to be figuring out what I want to do with that lore-wise now, because it was definitely a catastrophic event.
It was a big old oopsie.
Mhm.
Oopsie daisy.
But yeah, we got pulled to trial to answer for that, but instead of answering for it, we ended up kind of telling the council why they should be involved in politics, essentially. It was a weird turn how it went. But yeah, we're not in trouble anymore, I guess, right? Technically?
I think it's more or less that they are using you guys to meet their ends to forgive something that you guys did. I think that's more or less what it is. It's like a mutual agreement that you're both going to help each other in each other's agendas.
Yeah.
I
Plus-
think that's more like what's happening.
Yeah, I think I want to believe, I'm not going to speak for the characters, but I want to believe that they looked at us and the fact that we've already lost people due to, like, directly because of this.
Yeah.
And the fact that they pretty much forced Petra onto us. They're like, those two things.
On to Kaz.
Yeah, speaking
well-
of Petra, we found out she was one of our newest crewmates.
Mhm.
Turns out she's a terrorist. Found that out while we were in court.
Mhm.
They do remind me of our group when we first started, because they just fucking, anytime anything shows up, they just attack it. Even our crew is like, what is happening right now?
When even we're like, why did you do that? What in the fuck? Then you know there's a problem. We ended up getting 2 of our lost crewmates back. With the resurrection spell, we got Tinsel.
Yep.
This little halfling kid that makes bombs for us. We needed to have him back, absolutely. And Brutka, which was cool.
No, I think I will say that having Brutka back will allow you to get whatever answers, because of, like, with her being dead, pretty much we weren't going to get any answers of why she went to Calypso.
Spionage.
So this will give us an ample opportunity, and Taku will definitely be on board, I think, with getting those answers.
Well,
Hopefully.
it's also an opportunity here, because if you guys know that she was conspiring with Calypso and now she's back. Calypso doesn't know that you guys now know that information.
Yeah.
And it's very possible that you could maybe use this to your advantage and have her be a triple agent.
And then aside from that, we learned stuff about Lava Day.
There's a possibility
Yeah.
that you could kind of start the spell plague.
Yeah.
That's the way I was thinking.
On top of that, not to be forgotten as well, Rupert potentially being somebody else, like an actual person already.
I just love that the person who reads the most out of anyone on that ship is a bipedal rat man.
Not even rat man, just
It's a rat.
like rat. He's
You're welcome, world.
because he's only about 2 feet tall.
I thought he was 4 feet tall.
No, he's
That's
about,
Faulkner.
he's about.
And then outside of all of that, we had some pretty good role play moment with Faulkner giving a little speech to get Tinsel back. That was a very nice role play moment with Faulkner. I enjoyed listening to his little speech to bring him back from the other side. But yeah, good job. Good job with that.
Thank you.
So let's move on to Hellgate. I wasn't in it last week because I had another mental breakdown Monday. So, what happened?
This guy right here.
Not make a noise like it's a fucking. Like it's an opening to a sitcom.
Mental breakdown Monday,
Yeah.
like glitter.
Yeah.
Like,
Like After
the
Effects.
more you know, like this guy right here turned into basically Lobo and started just chucking chains everywhere.
Nice. So this last episode, which is episode 1 because the previous one was 0,
Yeah, it was episode 0.
are both of those going to be on YouTube?
Just the episode 1.
So our first episode upload to YouTube will be our session from this last Monday.
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys won't be missing too much as far as viewers go, as far as what happened in episode 0. Episode 0 was more or less trying to get you guys to come together and work as a team on a specific task.
So if I only gave you 5 words to describe the last game, lay it on me.
5 words to
Yeah,
describe
5
last. Ooh, okay.
Are we all going to be asked this?
Go for it. We'll start with the DM.
They basically got into a high speed chase, and some vehicles
To whose home?
to Peter's home,
Oh.
to Chad's house. Yeah, Chad lives in a apartment complex above a garage. So
You're literally whining into the mic right now.
that's beautiful. That's gonna be good. Ghost, no, you really need to stop. You can't be whining into the After Dark mic.
Chad, last game with 5 words. It
Um,
doesn't have to be a sentence. It could be 5 random ass words too.
Flying car battle, black helmet.
Cool. What was with the black helmet?
Because my character got a black racing helmet that allowed him to connect with the AI of the car that I'm going to be driving.
Hellgate, just to preface, is set in
2115.
Yeah.
2115.
Mhm.
So this is a super futuristic, cyberpunk-esque type of game. 5 words, Cookie.
My character is very disgruntled.
So, like, what did he do in the game that makes you say that?
I mean, he's basically like an old man that just wants everyone to stop having so much good time.
So he's an old man. Kraken. His character's also a Kraken.
Yes.
How does that work,
What do you mean? Explain.
being
What?
a Kraken?
Well, they are a very, very solo, solitaire type creature. They do typically like to, keep to themselves. However, they are very reserved. They don't open up very easily to other people.
Oh.
But they're very territorial, and they like their personal space, and if you invade it or if someone is disrespecting it, it's pretty not uncommon for them to retort with violence.
Okay. And then Chad's playing a Revenant.
I am.
So
That's
Jason
really fun.
Voorhees type.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Carl. He's playing a Ninetales.
Mhm.
Very dexterous, silver tongue. All that kind of stuff. So far, he shoots Rasengans at people.
What is that?
Something from Naruto.
Force balls. It's
Ki blasts.
basically they can take chakra
Okay. So he made another anime character.
Yes.
Cool.
100%.
But yeah, it was a very high action episode, that's for sure. Like you said, episode 0 was basically just, it was set up, and then we were able to let loose with this episode 1, which basically started with us getting an AI for a car that we're going to be taking to races. But right after we left, I left with the AI, which led to a high-speed chase with who we found out were Cyberfangs. It's a group of, or a gang of werewolves.
Yeah.
And, or a wolf pack, I guess.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was some fucking intense shit. I was hanging from the bottom of one of the speeders up in the air.
I thought the fight was very cinematic.
Yes.
I thought it was very cinematic, and I think that the system helped it be more cinematic.
Insert clip. So, yeah, is that it for Hellgate?
I think so.
Okay. Let's move on to questions. What is our first question of the night?
First question of the night.
Shout out to our viewers.
That's a flashlight.
That's a flashlight.
Shout out to our viewers. Thank you for your questions.
First one is a question from Hobbit100 from the Discord. I have a question for After Dark. How does the soul gem work mechanically? Is it like a reservoir? I think, or a
Reservoir?
Sorry. Reviveorfie. I think that might be a typo.
A Revivify?
Revive ore. Revivify ore.
Revivify. Okay, Revivify. That's what it is. Or is it more potent? Gotcha. So, great question. I'm glad you asked. A soul gem, because it is not a D&D item. I'm sure if there is probably a D&D item called a soul gem. Even Elder Scrolls, I think, has a soul gem.
Yeah, that's a treasure map.
But essentially, soul gems are fossilized ectoplasm. It's fossilized ghosts. Byproduct.
Oh, it's fucked up.
Yeah. Basically, how it works is that it acts as a conduit between the material plane and the astral plane. Since the astral plane is kind of like this overall encompassing realm that can kind of bridge to any other plane.
Mm-hmm.
So that soul gem kind of like acts like a GPS beacon. So the spirit can find its way back to the location.
Interesting.
But basically, yeah, it's a way to make Revivify amplified. It makes it more potent. The mechanical aspect around that a soul gem in my world is it can be used on any body after any time of death. So you could find the bones of someone who's been dead for thousands of years and use it.
To keep that in mind, definitely not metagame this.
The typical I think span is like 2 weeks for the actual spell.
Yeah. And you have to have the body intact. I believe.
You have to, well, yeah.
Mostly.
No, I think you just have to have a piece of it.
Really?
You just have to have you just have to have a piece of the body, I think.
What the hell? Overpowered.
It's very overpowered. But do you guys want to hear a little bit of Death Attack lore around how the soul gems came to be, though?
Sure.
So, the world of Faramine is kind of similar to how the Lord of the Rings Middle Earth works, where the past was much more high fantasy. Mm-hmm. And as time has gone on, restrictions have been put on magic, restrictions have been put on gods, lore, history, knowledge, power has become lost to time. So, in the past, during the Zenithian Empire, they used to have wars with individuals, and what they would do is they would just have battle mages. They'd have battle clerics on the field, and they would just be mass resurrecting people. So soldiers would literally be fighting, fall, be resurrected, literally raise up from where they fell, and continue fighting. And they would do this for days, where fights and skirmishes would go on for weeks sometimes of constant battle, because either side was just not losing numbers. And what ended up happening was they found out that once you bring somebody back from the dead, not all of them comes with. A little bit of them starts to lose itself every time. And eventually the soldiers were coming back and they were different, and they were enthralled by a desire and a drive to suck the life essence out of living creatures. These entities ended up becoming known as the Fallen, and what they are is they're basically wraiths. They're basically bodies that are being empowered by an artificial life magic, and they desire the feeding of another life form. So kind of think of like a Dementor if they fed off of, your actual lifespan as opposed to your happiness. Question number 2 is from Cutlip from our Discord as well. How much of the content is scripted out ahead of times? There are obvious moments players have more info than viewers, but it is just extra knowledge drawn from backstory, or are there ever scenes planned for in advance to a degree? Does that philosophy change between Q and Elijah? I think their example they used here is when Hope turned into a werewolf. The entire coterie was freaking out besides for Alistair, who seemed like he already knew the situation. And the answer to this question is no, nothing scripted. This is all stuff just from backstories. So Alistair knew about it because it was part of my backstory. I broke down Alistair's backstory into different centuries. Hope was just one part of it.
It's a big backstory.
Yeah. But we've never sat down before the game and had a discussion about scenes or a direction of the game.
I will say I'm flattered because we've gotten this question multiple times.
Lot.
There's a lot of people out there who think that we script things,
Mhm.
and I think it's flattering that any of you think that we could ever remember a script of any sort.
We can't even get our audio ready.
I would say this is a good example is go back to season 1 or go back to season 1 where our cameras were still mounted up on the ceiling with the webcams.
Mm-hmm.
We had them, the way we had to mount them is you kind of had to angle them down so that you could see a lot of the table. A lot of times you could see our dice tray and you could see our hands and what was on our table. We've got no script. We've got only our player sheet, our dice, and I think occasionally sometimes someone has a drink or a notebook.
Cookie has note cards.
Has a note cards for your abilities.
Yeah, for my ability.
You kind of like made flashcards for them, which
I need to do.
which is smart because when I first started, I didn't do that, and then I had to keep looking up what counter rolled my roll. But and those early games in season 1 were 4 hours long. There's no way you're gonna memorize a 4-hour long script and then do that
in a span of a week.
I couldn't memorize a 5-minute script. Like, you should see us doing our shorts. Like, when we do our short videos, like Captain Camarilla and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Goddamn, dude, there's a lot of takes.
I would say the closest thing we get to at all a script is before games. Sometimes either Elijah or Quentin will tell us that especially if there's a fight that's about to happen, they tell us that this is a dangerous fight. People could die here, so you might want to be very careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably about as close.
We do have communication in that sense with things.
There
like
is times where,
like, if it's gonna be a dark episode or whatnot, if there's things that the DM or ST feels they need to make us aware of before the game starts, those kind of situations, those will happen. But nothing along the lines of scripting has ever happened or will ever happen in our games.
Yeah. Okay, last question for the night. In Hellgate, this is also from Rain, first time viewer, long time fan.
Hi, Rain.
In Hellgate, when Ched's character abandoned the out-of-control car, he left the driver plummeting into the wall. The driver had been shot up, but there's no way the character had enough time to confirm the driver was already dead. Did he struggle with his split decision reaction to ditch the car and the driver, or was his disregard for the driver's welfare something he didn't even consider? And before you give your response to this, I will say that the driver was indeed still alive.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
So we actually talked about that after the game.
Yeah.
Because it was something that already happened, so it didn't affect the story going forward.
Yeah.
And my character though I usually play like good characters who try to save people, this character is not that.
Yeah.
This character does not care. He's not gonna, like, he was in that situation. He was there to save himself.
Mm-hmm.
He basically forced that poor cab driver to drive as fast as he could without any regard for his safety.
Mm-hmm.
So in that moment, Peter is not a bad guy. And this is what I said to you last night. He is not a bad guy, but he's not a good guy either. He does what, in a situation like that, like, that person was not close to him. He didn't know that person's name. It was just another person in Chicago. And Chicago was a big city.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in that particular situation, no, there was no split decision. It was save myself, and that's it. As shitty as that sounds, that was basically the thought process that this is what I want my character to do, and this is how I want my character to approach the situation.
No, I perfectly respect it. Because we haven't been able to do a full, down, like, give you guys the rundown on what the mechanic system and how it all operates and works within Hellgate. But just to clarify for this situation, so in Hellgate, you have a vitality, which is encompassed by, not, instead of a numerical number, it's a node. It's like a dot in Vampire. You could use that as a reference to it. And unless you take 10 points of cumulative damage in a single, turn, you don't lose a health node. You just lose reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, if you want to view your reaction like your stamina, could be a good way of explaining that. For mortals, it's any damage over 5.
Yeah.
Supernaturals, it's 10. And Driver was a mortal. Driver took 7 points of damage, was already at 0 reaction. And in that situation, if you're at 0 reaction and you lose a health node, a vitality node, you go unconscious.
Yeah.
So that driver basically got pelted, went unconscious, and then died.
and the only and to clarify, mechanics, at least for Revenant, I don't know if this is other undead as well, but
it's all undead.
For Revenant, the reason why I did, like, because I lost reaction there, and I actually took a point of damage.
Yeah,
I didn't go unconscious because of my.
Because you're an immortal body.
Yep, because of immortal body, which is, I guess, an undead trait.
It is an undead trait. So undead have the unique ability to where if they lose a vitality node while they're at 0 reaction, they don't go unconscious. Yeah. Any living, breathing creature, though, would go unconscious. So there's your answer, Rain.
Yeah. And I know you said it was the last question, but it wasn't the last question. We have one more from our previous After Dark session on YouTube from Alvara, who is a viewer who has a few pieces of lovely artwork in our art reels at the beginning of our streams. If you ever watch our streams, keep an eye out for Alvara's work. But they asked, this is in regards to the last session when we were talking about Vampire BR and all that.
Oh, God.
They asked, what do you think? Can VTM reach more people with a new gameplay? Can it be good?
For the Battle Royale?
It was branching off of that topic. Like, I think they're saying if they branch out to different types of gameplay, can it be good?
Absolutely. You get a good developer and a good studio in there who over everything respects the source material, and can figure out how to present it in a way where it doesn't, or where it makes sense, like the BR. If they have a way of making it make sense, it could be fun. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They could present it in a way where it's set up kind of like, what's that BR that we used to play with, like, the robot stuff?
Oh, Apex?
Oh, it could be like Apex Legend, where each individual, like, there's a specific character for a specific clan, and, they get, like, 3 moves that they could do. They would just have to figure out how to do it in a way where it doesn't break the Masquerade, because that is 1,000% Masquerade breaking.
I can see how this could be like someone's first introduction to Vampire and Masquerade, or World of Darkness in general. Like, I can see that, and all it takes is like someone to get like really, like, especially if they can nail the gameplay.
Devil's advocate to it. I don't think a BR is a good representation, though, of what Vampire would be if they then looked for other media for it. Vampire is about political intrigue and like the depth of your humanity.
Yeah.
A BR is going to be over the top, guns blazing, action. It's going to feel more like Underworld. It's going to feel more like Blade.
BR.
If that's the vibe that the game gives off, when those individuals go and look into the Vampire Masquerade tabletop and they realize that 90% of the game is a bunch of stuffy old vampires like talking shit about each other behind their backs, then they're going to go, what the fuck is this? Why can't I just blow cars up and do what I want?
To be fair, there are a lot of games out there, I'm sure, that don't stream that do just that.
It's true.
The
It's
nice
true.
thing
That's true.
the nice thing about a tabletop game is you can do whatever the fuck you want.
You can do whatever you want.
And if you you could enjoy the tabletop game, but you might not like the way that Bloodlines presented itself. I.e., here you go, here's a battle royale that you may enjoy more, especially if they release it for free, which a lot of BRs do.
Yeah.
That was our last question from the audience. Did you guys have any questions that you wanted to put out on the table tonight?
Yeah. Questions.
I have a question.
Oh.
All right. So let's say you wake up tomorrow and all of a sudden you're a D&D character, but you're a D&D character in real life.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you would be as a class in real life?
Can I multi-class?
Sure, go for it.
I want to what level are we going up to?
I don't know, like 10. Let's just
10?
stop at 10.
Ooh, 10's pretty strong.
Yeah.
We're going with 10.
Okay. So one level into barbarian, just because
Wait.
I get angry at video games, specifically Call of Duty and Rated Battlegrounds.
Chad the Bad.
Chad the Mad, and then nine levels of Rogue.
Why?
Sneaky boy.
Yeah.
What about you, Justin?
I'm not sure.
Paladin.
You must come back to you. Everyone's gonna say I would say Paladin too, but what do you think, Justin?
Well, maybe Paladin, but like
I feel like you'd be a cleric.
I can see that too.
Yeah,
Sure.
I can see you being a cleric. Can you be a cleric paladin?
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Cleric would have the spellcaster side of it for sure.
It'd be like a martial spell.
The difference between it is a paladin is a champion of a god. A cleric is a devotee of a god.
What about you, Quinn?
Dungeon Master.
No, just pick. Don't say Dungeon Master.
Okay. So I'd probably play Dungeon Master.
No, he'd be a fucking barbarian. Level 10 barbarian.
I've never played D&D other than the one time. So twice. No, I've played D&D twice. Played D&D in your murder mystery mansion, and then I played D&D in Carl's one shot. Other than that,
3, because you were in his birthday thing too. You played a character.
I don't count playing
Wayne's World?
Wayne's World as playing D&D.
So, because you guys aren't gonna know what this is, but our original game we streamed was Pathfinder, and his character was a paladin named Gwaine. And for Cookie's birthday, we did a special episode called Gwaine's World, where all of our characters just woke up, and the DM got to play, so we all woke up, and we were just different versions of Gwaine, like a fucked up 7 dwarfs thing. So
Yeah.
I think you were angry Gwaine.
I was Macho Gwaine.
Okay, I don't remember what Chad was.
I was like sad boy or something
Yeah,
like
it was
that.
sad boy.
Javi was flamboyant Gwen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was.
That was fun. That was a fun
And I was
time.
Gwen.
And then,
Yeah, I hope so.
And then you were Dungeon Master, right?
Yeah, I ran
Yeah,
out.
because you ended up doing Nega Gwaine.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
I forgot about Nega Gwaine.
And Nega Gwen came back later. That game became canon
Yeah.
somehow.
My favorite part was everyone taking out their pots and pans for a grappling hook.
Oh yeah, we did do that.
Yeah.
I want to do one of those again. Can we please, for like a special one shot, do it with one of our characters? Make it Falner, please.
No!
Oh my god.
Oh my
Wayne's
God.
World had a ring to it because of Wayne's World.
Yeah.
That was obviously a clear reference. What would the names for Falner? What would the Falner game be called?
Falner's Balner.
You didn't even try. You just said Balner.
That's actually how I name my characters.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know, guys. You tell us. What would be like a catchy name that we could do for an episode where we all wake up and we're all Falner? that would work like Wayne's World, but for Fallner. That's a hard name to rhyme with.
I don't think you can rhyme it. You're going to have to make some sort of other...
It's
Get out.
Fallner's Ballner.
Well, I think if that is it, we don't have anything else to...
Projects coming up. We haven't talked about our projects yet. I guess you can count this as a project. Chad is in another Carry and Comfort stream coming up. If you guys want to catch that on Twitch, it's the 17th and...
The 24th.
24th of this month, March?
Yep.
What's the game that you're going to be in?
It's called Solemn Veil. The game is actually on Kickstarter right now, so it's technically not out, I don't think. I don't know if they released the PDFs to people. I know that Wes, I assume he backed it, and...
I know a lot of projects, if you back it, you'll get like a early PDF of the system. Yeah.
So, he's taken that system, and we're running with it.
So, yeah, that's one thing going on. We've finally secured at least one location to film the intro for Dark Archives, so that's in progress.
Yes.
It's taking longer than I kind of wanted it to, but it's fine. We got a lot of other shit going on.
Yeah.
And then after Hellgate, how many more episodes of Hellgate are there now?
It just depends. It depends on...
Roughly?
I would say if we kind of like figure out how everything's going by episode 6, I'll probably wrap it up.
So 5-ish weeks from now, give or take.
Yeah.
The 2-part special episode, Chicago by Night, being ST'd by Quentin. First time ST in World of Darkness for him, so... And
I get to try, and this will be the first time, basically, I'm going to try to mimic Elijah's character voices that he's done with his NPCs.
Who all are you going to do? Give us a taste of some of the characters.
What's an NPC that he's... Let's see.
It's Kevin Jackson.
Kevin Jackson.
Memphis, my boy.
That'll work. Yeah.
Do the goat scream thing that he does.
No.
Yeah, what can do without that?
I'm going to mute that. So you got Kevin Jackson, not Jimmy. I'm assuming not Jimmy, not in a 2 episode.
I don't think. As of right now, I don't have any plans for Jimmy. But I might.
Ghost.
Wow. She's like, bro, I didn't even do it.
Why, Ghost? Why you like
It's because she's not right.
She's so trying so hard to get to you, but she doesn't want to go through Quentin.
But yeah, guys, look forward to that. That's going to be fun. Yep. And Elijah gets to be a character. He's going to play Kaido.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting.
Which has been, let's be honest, it's his character anyways, so.
Well, yeah, but he actually gets to play it now, so.
Yeah, and then after that, we got the Star Wars series.
Yeah, and then we have the Star Wars miniseries, which you need to get on making your Mando armor.
I know.
Don't tell people what they're playing.
Making their armor.
Yeah.
Make a little teaser there for anyone who watches After Dark.
Yeah, but I gotta get my prosthetics.
Your prosthetics. That's right. I think
What are you doing?
I found some good ones on Etsy.
Yeah.
You're
Did
rubbing
you?
your
So
face.
yep, I'm gonna be ordering them soon.
And then you guys will get to see Elijah in full body paint.
Wiping her
Yep.
nose on me. She's wiping her nose on me, bro. This dog.
She thinks you're a tissue.
Yeah, you look like you're covered in hair.
Outside of that, guys, don't forget we have a Patreon now, so...
Oh, and the Memphis lore sheet is going to be dropping this month.
Yes.
So that's another thing. The Memphis lore sheet it's done. We just need to get it formatted, and then I can throw it up there.
Yeah, that should be up by the end of the week.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
So you guys will get to see
boom, Patreon screenshot.
And the Memphis lore sheet is known as Path of the Fool. So,
All right, guys, I think that's it.
all right.
Thank you for joining us again, and we look forward to the next one. Don't forget, if you have any questions for us, just pop them down in the comments here. You can send it to afterdarkqna@gmail.com or put it in our Discord, which there will be a link for the Discord below and a link for the Patreon down below. So that covers all of our bases.
And until next time, remember, always embrace the dark.
Hey. Yeah, we're really late on this. So we're talking to you from the future, technically, from what you're watching. We're about 2.5 weeks late uploading this video, so everything we just talked about, it's kind of old. So we're just going to bring you up to speed really quick. Now that we're going to start getting back on track, we fell off the wagon on this editing thing, and by we, I mean me. Let's bring you up to speed real quick. Hellgate. We're at episode, 3
We
now?
just completed 3.
So we're on to episode 4 here next Monday.
Mm-hmm.
2 episodes left.
We got
4
2
and 5.
episodes left after that. It's been going really well.
Yeah.
Got a lot of things figured out for the play test so far.
We're going to have one more play test, and that one will be available for everyone. So I'm actually going to run games, too, for people who want to try it out. But we're going to do, after this play test is done, I'll make my final adjustments before we do one last play test with it.
Hey, my pants match the wall. I'm doing it again with the light this time, back when I used to look directly into the mic instead of the camera. I'm looking directly into the light instead of the camera. I'm blind! Another thing we should probably touch on is, as some of you may have noticed already, maybe not, Elijah's not been with us. Mm-hmm. He's not dead.
No.
I should have worded it that way. He's very much alive. He has retired. He has decided that the whole streaming thing isn't really for him. He'll come around every once in a while, maybe for a guest star spot or something, but other than that, he's not going to really be around anymore, at least for the foreseeable future. So, everything's good. He just isn't really digging it anymore.
But Vampire is still going to continue.
And Vampire will continue. Quentin gets to ST now. So yeah, Vampire's still going to be a thing. Elijah might maybe pop in every once in a while and play Kaido. He seemed interested, excited to play Kaido before, so that might be a thing, it might not be. So Vampire, that's going to be coming up here soon. Our 3.5 is what we're calling it to wrap up Season 3, since it was left on a cliffhanger.
Special 2 episodes, and then after that, I'm not quite sure. My plan was still to do the Star Wars series, and then once that was done, to then go over to Vampire, but Elijah was also going to be part of that, which he's not now, so I would need to... Basically, it's not enough players to do that, so we may just do Vampire after taking a week or two break after the 2 episodes.
Sure. So we'll play that one by ear and see how it goes. So that also goes, the same for Death Attack. Elijah won't be playing Kaz anymore. As of now, it's just the 3 of us. We are currently looking for a 4th person to fill up that slot locally. So it's not going to be like we're taking applications or anything like that. We prefer in-person games. So that might go somewhere soon. It might not. We'll see. But for now, for Death Attack, it's just going to be 3 of us. Sorry, you lost the only person that was keeping the story going forward. The rest of us just fuck around, and we all know it. We just fuck around.
I feel like Jez is getting forced into the leader position now.
Yeah, I do too. How about that? Weird. So yeah, other than that, projects this upcoming Wednesday for us right now, at this moment, is the 7th. We're going to start filming for the opener for Dark Archives. We'll also be taking new photos and headshots and whatnot for Vampire, or whatever else we rented out a location. So we're going to be using up every minute of the time slot that we rented out for this place, because it's a pretty cool old Victorian mansion. So Dark Archives is going to start production as of the 7th of this month. So that's exciting. Other than that, Patreon
games are still going. So I've got as of right now, the first Friday of every month is the Patreon game. So we've actually got a scheduled time. So if you're looking for a already scheduled time slotted game
for D&D,
Dungeons and Dragons, then good option.
Aside from that, we got the Irwin lore sheet dropping this month.
Irwin lore sheet will be dropping.
You won't give him a little licky taste?
That was...
I wish I'd never heard that.
Pretend she just never said that.
Give him a little licky taste.
I'm not a fan.
So there's one called You Are Who Again? And then there's another one called Don't Call It a Comeback.
That's a good lore sheet. That's a good one.
That was my favorite.
So aside from that, I think that's everything for Patreon. The big updates for this month.
Yeah.
At the moment. Circling back to Hellgate. I don't know if you guys don't follow us on Twitter. Do that, because we post almost every day on Twitter. So the other day we posted a song Quentin made for Hellgate. So we're starting to make our own music for our games now. So down the road, once we start compiling a list, there will be soundtracks probably available on Patreon. Or songs available on Patreon. For Hellgate, we're going to make them for Vampire as well. So yes, you will get a Memphis Piper original song.
Sorry. Memphis Piper mixtape. I'm going to at least have 17 instruments. I want none of them on the same tempo.
Yeah, that sounds good. Accurate.
Yes.
But yeah, that's another thing that you can look forward to on Patreon. If you want to get a little sample of what the soundtracks for Hellgate are going to sound like, and maybe a vibe for what the Vampire soundtracks are going to sound like, and D&D possibly. If we dip our toes into that genre. go over to our Twitter and check out the sample that we released this week.
The past 2 weeks, over at the Comfort Carrion channel on Twitch, I was part of a 2-shot for a game called Solemn Veil that I believe is currently still up on Kickstarter. They've long since reached their goal. I think they've reached at least 8 of their stretch goals at this point. But that's being written by Matthew Dawkins and Mark Q. I'm not entirely sure of his actual name. I played with him before for Virtual Horror Con, but they're writing that together. So if you're into full core kind of stuff, check it out. It's really, really fun. Very heavy on the RP. If you don't like mechanics that much, it's just 1d6 basically. So yeah.
And that's Carrying Comfort's channel.
Yep.
So.
Over there, if you want to watch the VODs, I believe it's also up on their YouTube. At least the first episode. I don't know if second episode's up yet, but.
Which they also run Iron City by night.
Yep.
If you're looking for more vampire content.
So yeah, Brother Wes ran that. Super, super good ST. Check out all their stuff. Honestly, they're doing like a Kingdom Hearts thing right now that.
Quinn's gonna be in too.
And I'm gonna be in it as well.
Can you say who you're playing?
Are you Sora?
No, I'm not.
Oh my god.
You might actually think it's funny. I don't know if this is a spoiler or anything like that, but my game is on the 16th. Mine's the week before yours. I'm going to be playing Max Goof.
Oh!
Yeah.
What?
Fucking righteous!
Yeah. I can't I'm sorry to Jason Marsden, I believe that's his name, the voice actor for Max. I cannot do that voice.
I know,
but,
it's going to be interesting.
Hold on. I
What do you do for that
haven't
outfit?
watched him in so long. But
yeah. Extremely Goofy movie is one of my favorite Disney movies, if not my favorite Disney movie. And
you didn't know who Max Goof was?
I couldn't remember, but okay.
Yeah, it's Goofy's son.
Okay.
But
You gotta do the hair?
I can.
You have to do the fucking
the little mohawk
the little
thing.
Mohawk
I
thing.
wanna do I probably just wear this, but then like a really heavy
orange t-shirt,
Orange
like a big orange t-shirt,
Yeah.
or a red one.
Yeah.
I think it was always red.
It was red.
It was red.
It was
yeah.
always red. So I think that's what I'm gonna do for the look.
That movie made me want to go to college as a kid.
Yeah, right.
It's like
Shout out to colleges that have skateboarding as like a major.
or deaf poetry.
Right. Or lots of like cheese.
And who are you going to be playing?
I will be playing Prince Caspian from Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I forgot was completely a Disney owned franchise. But then again, Disney owns everything.
Yeah.
Oh, also we had a charity stream recently on Twitch. But yeah, we raised over $200.
$220
Everyone got
to be
together,
exact.
raised over $200 for the Asian Mental Health Collective. So that was nice. So yeah, I guess we're going to go ahead and upload to YouTube. Carl's in it. Chad's in it. Cookie's in it.
Quinn's
I'm in it.
Quinn's
a
in
lot.
it sometimes to give
I think
them.
you were in it sometimes as well.
Yeah, whenever
Just
there's
in the
tech,
background.
Whenever there's tech issues or we need to give them like gross shit to drink, we're in it. Because that was one of the donation tiers.
I didn't get
Terrible
anything gross. In case anybody's out there in YouTube land is wondering, almond milk and syrup, good combination. Who would have thought it? I didn't, but it's good.
So yeah, it was a good time. They played Dead of Night, I believe it's called.
At Dead of Night.
At Dead of Night, and Carl, in case you guys didn't already know, is a huge scaredy cat. So lots of screaming,
Yes.
lots of laughs.
I
So
will
if you guys
tell-
want to check that out, we'll post that.
I'll tell you right now, he scared us more than the game scared us. Me and Cookie.
Yeah.
He scared me when I was sitting upstairs because he was screaming so loud and throwing shit. Like,
Yes.
you definitely want to watch it.
Yes.
So we're gonna close it out with we don't have any questions because we fucked up, obviously. We fucked up with planning and editing and posting. So we're just gonna close it out with a comment that we got from Faye the Pagan on our last video, where she said, gave us a timestamp and said that there was a ghost in the room. So in case anyone else noticed that and thought it was weird, I'm just gonna debunk it for you guys. Trust me, I hate it too. I've been trying to have this house be haunted for years. Nothing's working. If you guys have any artifacts you want to send me, I'll give you my address.
Don't.
But before this curtain went up, this was just a window, and we live along a pretty busy road, so headlights reflect off the window. So if you saw anything that you thought looked weird, it's just headlights.
Just
Unfortunately,
headlights.
it's not a ghost.
Other than that, that's the last thing for sure.
Is it the last thing?
Vibes awake.
Oh, yes. Yes, last thing. Alright guys, so if you have any questions for us for the next one, go ahead and send them to afterdarkqna@gmail.com or comment them down here, put them in our Discord. We'll have a Discord link below in the About section. And I think that's it for tonight. Also, sorry. I'm so sorry about everything. Everything that happened in the last video, everything that happened in this video.
Everything happened.
How late this is.
Everything that happened in the live stream.
Our existence, I'm just sorry. So, hey, thanks for joining us, and maybe we'll see you next week. Bye.